Wake your ass up
or take a damn nap.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
It's time.
Sean, you were twerking. That's going to happen.
Murph, don't be a dick all your life.
It's one of the more fun podcasts I've ever done.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're not talking about sports in the man cave, I bet not say you not a man.
That's it.
Stevie Lee, the big Stevie Lee. That sounds like the commentary in that open for the OG Man Cave episodes. I mean, you would fit right in with this group. I'm not going to lie. You were cut from the same cloth.
Well, let's do it then.
Yeah, that's where we got to go. And that's because when you and I did an episode back in November, I think it was after the Oklahoma State game. It was a tough weekend. Yeah. And I know Stevie had some things to say, but he's a positive guy, and you'll get to learn
that. I'm still a positive guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Stevie, he's a girl dad, beautiful wife, beautiful family, male dogs, or male dog. Is it 2 dogs or 1 dog?
I have 2 male dogs. They're blue Lacy's.
Oh, beautiful.
Blue Lacy's is the official state dog. And my family, who thinks that everything's cute, they named them Austin in Texas. Yeah, so Austin is the laid-back, chilled one.
Fitting.
He'll listen sometimes.
Yeah.
Texas has he might have a touch of ADD.
I can relate.
And ADHD, so he can not pay attention to you, but then be all in your face in the next second. So they are fun dogs, but you got to know their personalities, man.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's
and
absolutely hilarious.
When when they said that they wanted a dog in the house, I said I cannot do another female in my house. So I said the dog. If we get a dog, ever get any kind of dogs, anything in our house is going to be male. Right. And so we got 2 male dogs because I'm outnumbered. I'm still, I guess we're even now, but back then I was outnumbered with 2 daughters and a high maintenance wife is what I say.
So I got to say this. If you, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. This is a fun, beautiful family to follow on social media. The tricks and the gags and what Stevie does to his wife, and she plays along.
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious.
No, I got a lot of buzz when tell you the story. We were flying to New York, taking the kids to New York for the first time, and I have me, my youngest, and my wife on my 3 on the row, and then across the aisle is my daughter. And so we get up to get off the plane. We had a connecting flight in Nashville, I believe. So we get up, and the lady behind me, she goes, "Oh, which one's the middle kid?" Right? And so all I do is I look at her and I smile. I know she's going to be embarrassed, but I said, "Well, that one right there is my wife." Oh,
it's that. Yeah. Like that, huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought she was your daughter.
She loved it.
Yeah, Summer loved it. She ate it up, but I'm the old guy traveling with 3 teenage daughters. So I got lucky with that. She is a young, beautiful ex-Texas cheerleader that kept herself up, and I look like the old man that's just traveling with I'm their bodyguard. I'm their old man bodyguard, you know.
See, Stevie's face hasn't changed. It's the gray examples or residuals, not residuals, but the gray wisdom.
Yeah,
on the beard.
I hope it's wisdom, man. I hope I'm smarter.
Oh my gosh, this was an ideal, man. So we knew when that episode back in November that we had to create something of our own. on the side, and that's what spawned this. And it's episode 170 for Under the Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast. But we're making this a series. We're through football season and probably after football season. We're calling it the Pass Rush with Stevie Lee.
Let's do it.
And it's installment number 1. Now, this is going to be the one and only episode that you'll see that graphic for our series. Manscaped.com, a great sponsor, and our fellow Longhorn, that means Jim Saxton, State Farm Insurance Agency, who supports all the podcast episodes, because Stevie has a friend that supports him in almost everything. And I want you to tell everyone about who this guy is and his business, because you kind of been partners with him on some projects, and he's going to support our series, that being Pass Rush with Stevie Lee.
Yeah, my friend Hargrove Roofing. They are from Shreveport, Louisiana, where I'm from.
Right.
He and his brother started a Clive and Billy Hargrove started a roofing company in Shreveport. They moved into East Texas, moved into Houston, moved into Dallas, and he wanted to move into Austin. And so we have a cool partnership in Austin where I help with getting different roofs and things like that, and help marketing with him and things like that, because he's a hometown guy. And I always want guys to do big things and do special things out in the world. So Hargrove is one of our title sponsors. Good company, good guys, and they do really, really good work. So Hargrove Roofing, you can we will have a link and everything, but also contact me if you need a roof. I can get you to the right guys here in Austin.
So both of you, both of us, we're going to be able to connect people to Hargrove Roofing without a doubt. And we're going to team up and we're going to support his business because he's supporting us. And anyone who's a friend of yours, man, that's quite an endorsement. And I want to thank Hargrove Roofing for supporting this and seeing the vision and for really, really jumping on board here, man. It means a lot to me. And I'm speaking on for Stevie as well. This is going to be a fun ride, brother. It's we're going to create some good content. I think the Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast is growing, but these series like this and people like you is what's made it. And of course, the OG Man Cave boys, that being Big Mike Murphy of Last Stand Hats. This is some of his apparel. He's got the UT license agreement for the hats and everything. And then Coach Mo with Coach Mo's Elite Fitness and Hardball Harge. I think everybody in Austin, Texas knows Hardball Harge. Mm-hmm. He's on the 104.9 The Horn. Just good people, man. I think it's great. We all align with great people. Stevie, let's start with pretty much how we're going to do this. The Pass Rush concept, why we call it the Pass Rush with Stevie Lee, because that's what you did, and you were a run stuffer at Shreveport Evangel, which was once a national power in high school football.
I hope we get back to it.
Man, what's holding them back, you think?
I think there were some big rule changes within Louisiana high school football with playing up, because when I was there 20-some years ago, we were 3A school, but playing in 5A my senior year. And so, we were still kicking tail, right? Yeah. And when I came to college here at the University of Texas, all my Texas friends and teammates would be like, "You played in Louisiana, so that's different." I was like, "Nah, we played these teams over here in Texas, and we stomped them, right? We came through and beat John Tyler. We beat Lufkin. We beat Carter, Dallas Carter, the beloved Dallas Carter. Yeah. Ooh, boogeyman, right? And we beat Marshall. So we came into Texas and ran through Texas, and then went back home and also ran through the Louisiana teams as a private Christian school. My graduating class was 112.
That's amazing to me.
And so when you look at John Tyler and a school like Marshall or even Dallas Carter, when you're graduating 1,000 students, and then Carter came to our home field and Coach Chambers was the coach back then.
Bruce Chambers, right?
Bruce Chambers was the coach at Carter before he became the running backs coach at Texas. And so I played against Bruce Chambers' team in high school. And let me tell you a story. So my pastor at my church, Eric Moore, played at Carter. But
Great guy.
So we played in different eras. When he was at Carter, I was, younger. But we had an argument what his team at Carter would have beat Evangel. And we're going hard for our schools, right? So he goes and get Coach Chambers on the phone. We're sitting down. I think we're at my house at the time.
Oh my God.
We're here. He goes and get Coach Chambers on the phone, and Chambers, he put him on speakerphone. And so being a diplomat that he is, he's like, it would have been a good game, guys. But when he said when he went to Evangel, it's a private Christian school, he said that we put their team in the visitors' locker room that had a huge touchdown Jesus on the wall, right? And so they came out on the field, and I'm not gonna lie, I went to school. I'm probably 6 black guys on the team. All the other guys, built, but are white guys. And when an inner city school like Carter comes into our place and they start running all over the field in warm-ups, and they're doing all this crazy stuff in warm-ups, my guys was looking around like, whoa. I was like, guys, that's just
what is this?
Yeah, that's just for show, guys. Don't worry about it.
Stay focused.
Stay focused, yeah. So Bruce Chambers go in the locker room, or he said he goes into the locker room after the game, after we stumped a mud hole in him. And he looks at the picture on the wall. He said, on the phone right then, Eric was on the phone with us. He said, man, I ain't never had my ass kicked in the name of Jesus before. And that's what we did, right? So we'll knock you down between the whistles, but we'll give you a hand to help you up.
Come up, young brother. Come up.
Yeah, Jesus loves you, but we're gonna play like hell between the whistles, but Jesus loves you, So
I remember my Evangel story. The late Cole Pittman. He's playing there, and then I was in East Texas at the time working for an ABC TV station. And when Lufkin was taken this way, they're going way up.
Yeah.
And Reggie McNeil was the quarterback. Javorsky Lane, you played against them.
Yeah.
They went to your place first, and I think I can't remember what year, Shreveport Evangel came to Lufkin. And Pittman's little brother committed to Texas in the end zone in Lufkin, if I remember right.
Chase.
The game. Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still very close to the Pittmans.
Yeah.
Mark, the dad, we saw him at the golf tournament. So I just remember that. And I remember it just amazing. I mean, you guys have a little stadium, but the support.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was back when, what was it? The school out of Monroe was so good.
West Monroe.
Whoa, God.
Yeah. So back then it was West Monroe, the big powerhouses in Louisiana, West Monroe, Ouachita Christian. You had Archbishop Shaw down in New Orleans. You had Catholic in Baton Rouge, where Major Applewhite and Greg Brown went to school. We call him GB.
GB.
He has a son that's in the NBA, which is crazy.
That
and doing great.
Even think that's possible.
Yeah, right. And then we have John Curtis. John Curtis was really good.
I remember them.
Yeah, John Curtis is a private Christian school down there down South Louisiana, and they're still doing well. So, and then all those backwood like Haynesville and Leesville, they're always good just because they were just country cornbread boys that ran the same system since Pop Warner.
Yeah.
They were running the same exact system that the high school would run, all the way from grade school through middle school, all the way up to high school, and they can run those plays like the back of their hands, like they know the back of their hands. So they those guys were just, they would get in the weight room because they didn't need film. They were just running the same play down your throat and dare you to stop them, you know?
You know, our focus is the Texas Longhorn football program. Stevie
So
Lee.
that's what I was going at, man. So I love high school football. I love playing it. It was fun. Let's talk about my horns, man.
Let's go, baby. So Big Stevie, a DT, D tackle.
Yeah.
It was recruited by Mack Brown and played 01, 04, 4 great years. 01, 02, 03, 04.
Yeah.
Barely missed the national championship, if I remember.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, you're right. Barely missed it, but Coach Brown being the guy that he is, the wonderful guy that he is, I really admire the guy. Made me feel like I was a part of it. You know,
well, you guys were.
Well, I wasn't on the field. So, but when he got back, he made us that missed it by a year, made us feel really, really a part of it, like a part of the parade, a part of being on stage. I got a picture with me and my wife. She was then my girlfriend. Me and my wife with the crystal ball on the stage. Like he was just that type of guy that like. Quick story is I'm gonna make it quick. They win the game. The next day I go to I think it was the next day. It was a Monday night game or something like that, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
Next day I go to my office and I call his office, knowing he's not there, leave him a message. The day after that, he calls my office. And the young lady at the front desk that answers the phone, she comes back to my office. She said, Coach Brown's on the phone. And I was like, well, put him through, you know? And so she passed him through to my office. And I said, Coach Brown, and before I can get anything out, he goes, congratulations, Stevie. What you guys started last year.
That's what happened.
Yeah, what you guys started last year, we finished it this year. And you guys were just 12 points away for doing the same thing because we only lost one game that year, and that was 12-0 to Oklahoma. And he said, y'all were just 12 points away from doing the same thing last year.
Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, it was so close. I mean, you guys, honest, let's be realistic. The 98 team finished the year solid. 99, that was weird, but they still played for the Big 12 championship. And I forgot which bowl game that was. Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
And then 2000, won the Holiday Bowl, won 9 or 10 games. And then 01, could have played for the national championship. That was your freshman year.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Which one was the game that we lost to Colorado in the
Big 12?
In the Big 12 game in what was it, Cowboy Stadium in Irving?
Yeah, the old one.
The old Cowboy Stadium. Yeah. I was redshirt that year because of a foot injury. I think I was. Or did I play that year? Man, this stuff is running all together. My wife called it football brain. We got football brain, man. But no, all those years was just fun, man. And we were close. And whenever I tell people, you know, hey man, did you play football? I'm like, yeah, I played at the University of Texas. Oh, what years? I was there from 2000 to the 04-05 season. Oh man, 4 years. Those were the great years, man. Those because we had 9-win seasons, no question.
All the time.
When we were going to win the game, you know. So it was really fun years, you know.
They were fantastic. That's when the program went. It was progression. And then 01 hit, boom. And that stayed at that level.
Yeah.
Now 03, I know people say what they want.
Yeah.
It was a, quarterback change, chance and there were a lot of position battles if I remember right in 03.
It was. And so getting in, so I'm getting so excited, man.
Yeah.
I'm amped up right now, man. Because so I went out to practice, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing, so you remember back in I guess it was 94, 5, 6 or something like that. Yeah. We started getting some big guys.
Yep. O-line.
In Texas. O-linemen. And you know who I'm getting at, right?
Yep.
So you got the Leonard Davis of the world, right? The biggest man I ever seen in my life.
Wortham, Texas.
Wortham, Texas. I heard he was dunking on people on a basketball court.
Oh my God.
Right? Big as he is. You
Huge.
got Mike Williams at that time coming in. Huge.
Big old guy.
You got Derek Dockery coming in at that
Big
time.
human.
Huge. You got Tillman Holloway coming in, right? You got Matt Anderson, right? You got Antoine Kirk Hughes.
You're bringing up names now.
Massive men, right?
Big humans.
That's big humans. And that's just on the offensive side. And then you had Sean Rogers. You had Cedric Woodard. You had Casey Hampton, right? You had Brackens. Who can forget about Brackens,
Beast.
right?
No one could block him.
No, nobody. You had and then I'll go into the other era, but you had Aaron Humphreys, right?
Beast.
And this is just the front. This is the fundamental of football. Big man on big man, hand-to-hand comeback. This is fundamentals, right? I'm getting so geeked out right now.
I love this.
So
let's go, baby.
You had all of that catapult the University of Texas to be at that plateau, and we were 9-win seasons all the way through. And then you had, the other generation, the younger guys that come in like Marcus Tubbs, me and Cole Pittman, and then Chase came through, and Larry Dibbles and Rod Wright, and then you had Casey Studdard come through on the offensive line. You had some other good guys coming on the offensive line. They just kept it. Jonathan Scott, and I'm missing a bunch of people, but sorry if I miss y'all, but we just started.
Studdard.
Oh, yeah, Casey Studdard, and so I'm so geeked out right now, and so that's why I see the University of Texas is going back to its fundamentals of big man on big man football, right? With the freshmen that just came in, like, how are you go find someone that's 6'7", 365 pounds and can move their feet?
Mobility.
Like, I saw the kid pull in practice. He pulled out. I've never seen a big man like that pull out as a true freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like, after you come in that big, you're gonna need some time in the weight room and time with Torrey Bechtel just to get your feet right and things like that. This kid came in ready, right? And so that I got really excited to go back to big man on big man football.
I am so excited about that because I don't know. You listed some names that the early O-line names.
Yeah.
I don't think John Makovic, even though it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful except for that 97 year. He brought in some of those early old linemen that Mack inherited. And that's, I don't think he gets enough credit, but Mack truly just crushed the recruiting game back then with you, O-line and D-line.
Yeah. Yeah. And it started with getting Chris Sims National Player of the Year and Corey Redding National Player of the Year, defensive and offensive players of the years in one class. And then everything else just started trickling in.
It mind-blowing how the momentum, and that's so to your point, to what I'm getting excited. I'm pulling a Stevie Lee right now. The recruiting momentum from last year and now this year's class for Texas totally transformed. And that kind of leads us to this, Stevie, the roster turnover. I mean, have you ever, I know what the answer is, but I've never seen, it's almost half the roster is different from last year.
Yeah. That's a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Because you got a bunch of new guys that need to learn the playbook. Right? So I think these kids are smart, and the way they're competing in practice, I think they know what they need to know right now. And so I do think a coach like Sarkisian and his defensive coordinators, I don't think that their playbook is like this big, but they're probably going through that much already.
Yes.
But that much can get you by but you still need to go throughout the season and get to the entire playbook, right?
Yes.
So I think that we're still learning a lot of the things that they can do, but what they can do right now, they can do very, very well. You know what I mean?
These are technicians. I mean, they're from old linemen to the receivers. I know the receivers, they lost a couple.
Yeah.
You know, Nayor, you know, that's a big loss, but they have like 16 receivers.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Next man up, they recruited. Dude, I'm at practice and this big dude just comes by me. I'm 6'5". He's like 6'5" or 6'6", and walks past me. And I'm like, golly, that's a big guy. Tight end, huh? Like, nah, it's a receiver. Like he's out wide. I'm like, that's a big receiver, dude. That's
Jermichael Finley size.
Yeah. They got receivers that are tight end looking, you know, tight end esque, you know. So I like to call them a donut away. They eat a donut, then they got their hand on the ground. You know? They're the 3-point stand, so you have one donut, dude. But I like it. As long as you can run and move your feet and come out of your cuts, let's do it, man. Come across the middle. Those DBs get scared, dude.
Yeah, they don't. It's a different game.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go on the. You know, I'm saying 8-4. I think that'd be great for this team to make that leap. But I think they're gonna have their moments where you kind of see what will happen in the near future.
Yeah,
I'm not going to predict any championships or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's just.
Listen, I'm a positive.
Great.
I'm a positive guy.
There it is. That's number one.
I'm a positive guy, right? So I got a little wager going on with a friend that played at Wake Forest.
Yes.
And he said, look at the rankings, man. I think Wake Forest can beat y'all. I was like, put your money where your mouth is, right? So it's not money, but we talk about we both love golf. I'm a golfer. I got to get out of the house with all these girls sometimes. So and so I go. He lives in Dallas. I live here, and if we go plus 8 wins, he has to come down here and pay for my round of golf, and he'd play with me. If we go minus 8 wins, I got to go up there and pay for his round of golf. And we're not talking, municipality courses. Like I'm playing Barton Creek and you're paying for my round. And then I got to go up there. He'll probably have me at the Byron Nelson, have him pay for that round, But that's my friendly wager. And I fully expect to be playing at Barton Creek on his tab. So
yeah, I mean, Wake is good. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not a ranking guy. I don't like preseason rankings, but they do it because people talk about it.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But
so Ricky Perez, just get ready, man. You'll be down here in Austin.
You're coming to Austin.
Coming to Austin in January to pay for my round of golf. For
Barton
sure.
Creek, the Fazio course.
The Fazio. But I may let them get away with foothills.
Oh my God.
The Fazio Cannons is where we're going to play.
You've seen practice of these current Longhorns.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, that's all you can do. What's your overall perspective of the team? Because obviously I don't have the privileges anymore to go to practice.
Yeah.
You're a former player. You can come anytime you want.
I'm a positive guy, right?
Positive guy, 100%.
What I see in practice is what I saw in practice was competing. They were competing against each other. And I love when I played, we compete against each other and we got scrappy. It was scrappy. Like we had to separate some people, and I'm starting to see that now again. After Coach Brown had left, because I've gone to practice every year since I've stopped playing.
Yes.
I've gone to practices where it's been low energy, down, and not much going on in practice. And this year I went out there and it was high intensity. The coaches are nuts out there, bro.
Amazing staff.
Yeah, they're nuts. Like I wouldn't want to mess up with this staff, you know. So, and I'll get into that when we talk about Bo Davis, man. But if you mess up, man. It's scary. I was like, man, the kid, he made a mistake. Y'all get off of him, please, you know. But they respond in a positive way, though. And these coaches, they make the big bucks, and they know how to pull things out of kids and make and bring the best out of them. So it was fun to watch the intensity of competing with each other and also butting heads, you know, going through the whistle, playing through the echo of the whistle.
That's a big difference that a lot of people, I don't think, truly understand, because if you haven't, I mean, it's just something that's a good point. I think you said that because I think people can learn from about that, what that means to the layman's type of football fan, base surface level. What does that mean?
Well, the whistle stops the play, right?
Yeah.
Play is stopped. Well, if you're a dog and you already hanging on to somebody and you hear that whistle, you're going to pretend like you don't hear it until the echo comes back. So I'm driving somebody. I want to put that person in the ground. I want to grab his chest plate of his shoulder pads, the chest plate right here. I want to grab his chest plate and I want to finish him on his back. Right?
Keep driving.
I want to keep driving. And if I don't finish him on his back by the time that whistle blows, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that whistle, and we still going to the ground, right? And that's what I saw in practice, right? The years that we didn't make bowl games,
right,
or we didn't do very well, we go and get our tails kicked at the Red River rivalry, or we didn't have people playing through the whistle. Right, you know, sometimes you want to see those. What do you call it? The personal foul calls. You know, because that's my guys going in and being dogs on the field, and that's why I'm excited about big man on big man football again. There's some dogs out there, and they are big and strong, and they're freshmen. We got them for another 3 years at least. Right.
And they're skilled.
And they're what?
They're skilled big guys.
Skilled big guys with good feet, right? And that's the big part about it. You can be big. I can get to, 365 pounds at 6'5", 6'6", but can I move with that weight?
Yeah.
And that's the big part. And that's something that you can't teach.
No.
Being able to move with that. And so we got some talented kids that can actually move with their weight. And they're going to, I came home, one of my golf buddies, I told him I went to practice. He's like, how's practice? I was like, hey, man, we got some kids up front that's going to make themselves very rich.
Those types.
They're going to get to the next level, and they're going to be very, very rich and wealthy. As long as they stay healthy, they're going to be wealthy, because it's hard to find those type of big men that can actually move.
The quarterback is a good problem now. I'm going to be up front. I like Hudson Card. I thought he was he was a good high school quarterback, super talented guy. But am I the only one that thinks that he could add value to that receiving core at Texas? But it probably won't happen, because I was impressed with him. I thought he was a next level receiver in high school. Who could play both quarterback and receiver.
Right. I did not see him in high school as a receiver. So I'm going to tell you what I see in practice now. Mm-hmm. If you're a receiver, then you're a receiver at the University of Texas.
Right.
You're not going to move positions to be one of the receivers.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? At the University of Texas, because these guys are big, fast, and strong with good hands. And we got running backs that are leaving the backfield catching balls, So I think Hudson is a quarterback. And it's not a pigeonhole, and there's nothing wrong with being a quarterback.
Right.
But if Quinn does what I think he can do this year, no one would blame Hudson if he needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just like Garrett did, just like who are other quarterbacks that transferred and actually did well.
Bouchel.
Shane
did really well.
Yeah, did very well. So I don't blame them for going out and finding that position because, like I said, it's name, image, and likeness. They need to use it to their advantage. And if he's going to get better exposure at another school by playing rather than being Quinn's backup, more power to you, brother. I wish you well. I hope you come back and get your T ring from the University of Texas and actually be a part of the T Association because you chose us first, but you had to make a business decision to go somewhere else. I personally think that they're still part of the T Association by doing that, but they just have to make a business decision for their career and their family.
So Sark, he was asked about Hudson, and he made a good point, and I want to share this with you. You probably already heard this before, and he was asked about, so what next for Hudson Card?
We did make that point to Hudson and made that very clear. You know, Hudson's job is to compete still every day and to either make Quinn better or pass him. And I expect nothing less of Hudson to do that. But the reality of it is, playing quarterback in this day and age, it's hard to go through an entire season unscathed.
So what I heard there was, and you correct me if I'm wrong. This is just my opinion. This is our opinions. I want to tell the Texas fan base, if they're not aware, what I'm interpreting all this as. Quinn Ewers was named the starter for the season opener against ULM. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's what you heard. You're exactly right. That's what you heard. It's not what I heard, Sean. That's not what I heard. And I don't think it'll be a smart thing to put someone in for the opener and then put somebody else in for Alabama.
Right.
So whomever is playing the first game is playing through the whole year. Is what I'm hearing. I'm going to tell you what I heard.
Yeah.
But Hudson needs to have that next man up mentality because what I saw in practice is it Malik?
Now, Malik Murphy's my guy.
Now,
I mean, not my guy, literally.
Yeah, I mean,
has a tremendous upside.
So what I saw in practice is Malik is he's nipping at somebody's heels too, right? So if whomever was going to be named the starter, that second man could not let up because Malik might get that position right there, that second man up position, because he's tall, he can see over a line. He stands tall in the pocket, and he slings it over his shoulder, and it looks really, really pretty, like arm out and slinging it. And so he could be number 2. And so if you take one day and try to sulk on not winning the starting position, you can be number 3 on the depth chart quick.
I got to admit this, Stevie. After last season, I was thinking, man, that would be cool to come up with another Dijon mustard that's not Grey Poupon and present that to an investor and get Bijan involved. Somebody did it. And that's a lesson and learn for an entrepreneur. Never sit on an idea.
Oh, wait. So you're saying that you thought of this.
I thought of this and didn't tell anybody, didn't come up with a plan, didn't do anything.
What?
I didn't. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Well, obviously you're not. They did it.
Yep. Somebody stole it.
Somebody stole it from you.
Man.
Oh man, you got a kink in your armor, man. You got somebody. You got a mole. You got a
mole, man. He's talking. Somebody's hearing me talking in my sleep, revealing all kinds of ideas.
Yeah. What's her name?
Oh, Felicia.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, dude. What was her name that night?
Which one? Which day?
Which
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was good. You're a positive guy, though.
I'm a positive guy, man. Yeah. The man's not married. He can go out there and play the field.
I can do that.
Yeah,
Who
man.
was that? Who was that rap artist out of Houston that sang "I Can Do That"
Oh,
in the early 2000s?
was that Little Flip?
It's Little Flip. I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
man.
can wear gold chains to my nuts. I can do that.
I can do that. Hey, man, there's a lot of people that would have been Me Too back in the day.
Oh my God. A HR violation. All day.
HR violations.
For all of your insurance needs, look no further than our primary sponsor, Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency. The ATX OG has been insuring Austin for over 3 decades. And get this, Jim Saxton is a Longhorn legacy. He is the son of the late, great James Saxton, who was a Heisman finalist. Be sure to give him a call, or better yet, visit his website, saxtoninsurance.com, and tell him that the stories inside the Man Cave Boys recommended you. Yeah, good guy. He's our day one OG supporter of this way back in March of 2020. So I bought a truck back in March.
Gotcha.
And, you got to get full coverage. I called him. He didn't answer, but he texted his guy, Chris, at their new office. And Chris had proof of insurance, liability, comprehensive in my email and in my Apple wallet within a half hour.
There you go.
That's you're doing it right when you have an insurance agency like Jim Saxton's.
Good.
Unreal, man.
That was with a smile.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Hey, before we wrap it up, I wanted to talk about something that is, well, because you were a D lineman, and this is the second stint for Bo Davis. I love the guy. I love the energy. He's a throwback, and he's intense.
Some of you motherfuckers need to get in the transfer portal. You want to go? Get in the motherfucker. This shit ain't a game to me.
He went off, and there were people joking. I mean, they're trying to flip this program, and I loved it. I think that was stupid of the player to record that. I thought that player probably thought he was being smart. He's going to get somebody fired.
Yeah.
Complete opposite. The entire Longhorn fan base and everyone who understands the game said, wow, that's what we want to see. That's the fire. But where was the fire with the players? Well, now you see it.
Yeah.
That moment, what did you learn not only about, or what was your opinion of that? Because I already loved Bo Davis, but I thought that's the guy, right timing for him to be with this program.
Right. So I had it was great on Bo. 100% great on Bo.
Yeah.
What I did not like about it was, why did the coach have to say that?
Yeah. Why? The reason why.
Why did the coach have to be the one? I remember we lost bad to OU.
Yeah.
And after every game, we come in on Sunday to run the lactic acid out and get treatment and things like that. And so we go into the locker room. Everybody's quiet because we got our asses handed to us, right? So everybody's quiet, and we're walking in the locker room, and somebody just joking and bust out in laughter in the back. And I'm looking around like, who is that? I didn't say anything because I'm a younger guy. But Corey Redding turned around and got into this dude. We just got our asses handed to us. You back here playing out, and just handed it to him. Basically the same thing that Bo Davis did on that bus. But Corey's a player, and he's a leader on our team. And that's what we need to, take it to the next step. So that's what made me uncomfortable. Is why did Bo Davis have to say that?
He shouldn't have been in that position.
He never should have. The second thing is, bro, why are you recording? And then take the extra step to put it out there. It could live in your phone and never even leave the locker room. But you immediately put it out. Like you recorded it and you put it out into the world. What kind of person are you to try to embarrass somebody that's trying to motivate you? He's doing it for you, so you won't be embarrassed anymore. So that was the other thing. I totally blamed the kids for it getting to that and it getting out. So, but it did change the culture of the university or the
moment
team at that moment. Yes. Don't get me started, man. I'm a positive guy.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I've seen it in other programs, but there's something. It's been around for well over a decade, 12 some odd years. Why is it that there's so much entitlement or the image of entitlement? What appears it's in that program. Do you think that's real entitlement, or is that just a facade that we see because everything's exposed on social media?
Yeah. Entitlement. So you mean they're entitled to be there and they're entitled for the W and not working for it?
I just think that what we've seen, why there's been so much mediocrity, because there has been I think these kids were legit players in high school, but it wasn't. And I'm not saying that all the members of the teams, Texas teams, these last 12 years, not all of them were entitled. I think there was a good portion of them. I don't feel like if a locker room's all together and you're coachable at Texas, you should be winning a lot more than they have the last 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm looking in the past, and even last year, that I think there was entitlement because that happened. Sark and that staff put those kids in position to win. Now you had Casey with that. And that came out, I had more respect for the kid, and I already had a ton of respect for him. Play with that. But I just feel like there's been a ton of kids come to Texas, and for whatever reason, they just feel like they made it without working for it. I may be completely off base.
Gotcha. No, I can see that. I can see that for sure. So I think it trickles downhill, right?
Yep.
So when you think that the players are entitled, right? And you may see that, but who's allowing that entitlement, right?
The leadership.
The leadership. It trickles downhill, right? So if I see a kid that thinks that he's entitled to be here, we're gonna correct that in practice, right? Like, so if you have the starting position, show me that you want this starting position. You're not entitled to this position. The reason I came to the University of Texas was, I was this big time, whatever, out of Louisiana, never lost a high school football game. I was recruited by every school in the country. And I went on my 5 visits. It was Miami, UCLA, Florida, University of Texas, and Georgia, all those schools.
It's an awful list, by the way.
It's a terrible list, right?
Should have done better.
Yeah, exactly. And they put their best players on me as their host. Like Richard Seymour was my host, and Brian McKinney was my host in Miami. And Sean from Houston, forget his last name, was my host out in UCLA. But anyway. They threw everything at me to come to these schools, and they were like, yeah, you got a starting position. The only one that said you're going to work for a starting position was Coach Brown.
Wow.
Well,
I respect that.
Nothing is going to be given to you. Because all these other schools was just blowing smoke, and I knew it. I felt it. Miami was Butch Davis was giving me all kinds of wolf tickets. And and so I'm that's my discernment, goes in one ear and out the other. Like, you can't promise me this, man. I see these big dudes out here, man. I can't, you know, I'm going to compete with them, and I'm going to, yes, I will, but you can't promise me anything.
No.
Nothing's promised me, and I don't want anything given to me. I'm going to work for it. Well, Coach Brown looked at me. He's like, you won't get everything. You won't get, I can't promise you everything. But if you come here and work, get with Mad Dog and work, you will have a starting position if you work for it. You know, you will compete for it. He didn't say you'll have. He said you'll compete for a starting position if you get in here and work. Mad Dog's going to work you. And I wasn't scared of hard work, you know. And so I was like, this is where I need to be because he's not giving me anything. I'm going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
So I said all that to say, I'm sorry. I said all that to say it trickles downhill, right?
Yeah.
You think these kids are entitled. Maybe they were given the entitlement, right? Because, dang, I don't want to sound pretentious being a Texas alum, but some of these coaches, this is the top of their career, being at the University of Texas.
Of course.
Right? So they can get entitled. Now, I dropped some dimes on you right there, didn't I?
And you did. That's insider info right there.
Right? So are the
I
kids
have
getting
loved.
entitled? Are the kids getting entitled? Or, and no offense to anybody on the staff right now,
No.
but what I'm going to say is you have, golly, I like the guy, but you have special team coaches making $1.1 million a year.
Is it Banks?
Yeah.
I think
So, but he's good. I love the way he run his man, they were competing in practice over the Gunners.
yeah.
You know, the special team Gunners. That was so much fun to watch, man. I just want to go to practice and watch that. So he's doing his job. But and I'm just using him as an example. You get to the University of Texas and interior lineman coach just has 4 people in his room sometimes and only 2 guys on the field pulling in $500,000 a year. Who's the entitled one now, right? So it rolls downhill. So if these coaches are feeling entitled because they made it, quote unquote, made it because we are the University of Texas. I'm a positive guy, right? But I don't want to sound pretentious. They finally made it through the Texas State or through the UT San Antonio program. They made it through, Toledo or, Oklahoma Baptist, and they made it to D1 big time college football. And they can feel entitled. And so when they're entitled, like I'm supposed to be here. I've been working all my life to get here. I deserve this. Well, that energy trickles downhill. And so us as layman's fans, I don't think we are, but you and I aren't. But people that are in the world or in the streets saying those kids feel real entitled right now. Well, I think we need to point up to their leadership.
Yeah. I'll end on this. I don't know when Texas will officially and Oklahoma officially enter the SEC.
Yeah.
You may know something, but I think it'll be 2024.
Yeah.
I think next year that Big 12 is going to be brutal. I think there's going to be a good conference.
Yeah. I think you're on to something. We got some people that are getting good, but it's a shame that we have to make these moves in college football, but we have to,
business.
Yeah, it's business. So, I love playing in the Big 12 and traveling up the, Midwest and going into those different places. But, it's a change. And so what we do is kind of deal with it. But I'm looking forward to going throughout the South, East,
I'll say this. I'm not afraid. I think Texas will see more success in the SEC than A&M did. Oh, of course, A&M did a great job their first year in the SEC.
Yeah.
Because of Johnny. And they had great offensive linemen. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Texas will have more success early on than A&M did in the SEC.
I can see that.
I don't know what it looks like, but I think they do a lot better than most anticipate.
Right. Well, man, this is actually a lot of fun, man. I'm really looking forward to our weekly talks and podcasts. Man, me and you can talk about this all day.
All day.
Yeah. And but I guess my prediction is we're going to compete. We're going to compete this year because we got some dogs out there that are wanting to win, and so we're all going to compete. It's going to be competitive and fun. No one's entitled out there anymore.
That's the thing.
They know they got to work for it. Yeah, zero entitlements because they got to work for it.
And that's
they wanted to go to a bowl game last year. They just couldn't get it done.
No.
You know? Yeah.
And now 5 and 17s go to bowl games.
Yeah, exactly. So they're fighting for it now. They're ready to fight for it. And if I got to eat crow, I'll eat it. And but what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling out there, and it could be the excitement of school or football just starting back, but I feel these guys right now, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be a better brand of football. There's no dissension. I will say this. I won't tell you who I heard it from, but this really meant a lot to me when I heard this, because I believe people have to earn their way into a group or a team.
Yeah.
And you test their mettle.
Yeah.
I heard a certain receiver stepped up to a freshman, I think DB, in the dorm and tested him.
Really?
And the freshman held his own, but that certain receiver obviously wanted to test him. It wasn't just talking smack. I mean, got into it. And everything's all good now. So when you have that, and you call me out if I'm wrong, when you have that on the team, you have people policing the team.
Yeah.
To see what everyone's made of.
Yep.
That's it. And when I was told me, I said, let's go. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got me fired up too now.
I didn't want to reveal names.
No, you don't have to, and you shouldn't. You're good.
I want people to continue to trust me.
Yeah, no question. No question. Yeah, you're a true journalist, sir.
Oh man, I just like talking football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Football. I like conversations with Stevie Lee.
Absolutely. I like conversations with Sean.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, the pass rush of Stevie Lee, installment number 1. They all won't be as long, but we needed to on this first one.
Absolutely. And don't forget about my man Hargrove.
Hargrove Roofing. Hey, we thank you, Hargrove Roofing. Man, if you want me to help you install a roof, carry some shingles, I'll do anything for supporting us. I'll bring you cold beverages.
Yeah, man, that's what I'll do. That's the only thing that I'll do. I ain't getting on no roof, bro.
Hey, for Stevie Lee and Hargrove Roofing and the OG Man Cave boys, Hardball Harge, Big Mike, and Coach Mo, we are out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.